So when you go into aged care, you have to, when you live outside of aged care, you have to buy your house or you rent your house. In aged care, you have a third option, which is you can do a combination of the two. What you pay for this is like when you live outside of aged care. If you buy your home, when you leave your home, the money comes back to your estate, comes back to you. When you leave an aged care facility, what you paid for your room comes back to your estate. If you rent that room, so if you don't put any money towards that, then it's like when you're outside of an aged care facility, the rent, you don't get the rent back when you leave. You then have a daily care fee, which is set at 85% of your single person's pension. And it doesn't matter whether you get zero pension, half pension, full pension. It's set at 85% of the single person's pension, and it's currently $52.71 a day. You then have a means tested fee, which is based on how much income and asset you have. And the government decided in July 2014 that if you had the means, you should contribute to your aged care. And then you have a fourth fee, which is set by the facility, which is additional services fee. So you have to receive a benefit to be charged an additional service fee, but that may be so you can have a hot meal, a choice of alcohol at night,
toiletries,
access to Wi-Fi, telephone, things like that. So when you're looking at aged care, you've got these four fees, and it depends on what assets you have. So I think we were talking before, the government basically pays 80% of most people who go into residential care. So if you have no means, so if you have, or you have less than $173,000 in assets, then the government will either fully pay or partly pay the cost of your room. But you still have to pay that 85% of your single person's pension. And that covers your breakfast, lunch, dinner, morning tea, afternoon tea, supper, changing of your sheets, the power, electricity.
Where does RAD fit into this?
That is your RAD. So I don't like using acronyms. So RAD, Refundable Accommodation Deposit, is what I draw as a house when I'm explaining the fees. It's the cost of your accommodation.
What happens if the primary home is a shared asset between a couple, but only one of the people in the home?
The person is when that happens. So when you look at aged care fees and costs, you are treated as one economic unit. It doesn't matter who owns what assets, and 50% is attributed to each person. If someone is staying in the home, they're classified as what's called a protected person, and that asset is not counted for when you're calculating your means tested fee, or doesn't impact on your Centrelink pension either. So if that person is a spouse or a family member that was receiving an income support package, there's some other rules around it, but predominantly it's usually a husband and wife, and one of them needs to stay in the home. So therefore that asset of the home is not counted when you're looking at how much it costs you to go into aged care. If you do have a home and you move into aged care, the value of that is counted as an asset is capped at roughly $173,000. It's $173,058 or something. But that the value of that house is, it's only up to that cap that is included when they calculate the means tested fee.